Chapter 25 is yet another really slow and tedious map. The biggest issue for this playthrough is the same as Chapter 18, where I can only have one unit that can use Dragon Veins, and I have to effectively travel across the entire map to get to all of them. This is really annoying with Corrin since he only has 5 movements, though in hindsight I could have just made Corrin a Kenshi Knight or Paladin, but it's too late for that now. The enemies on this map are pretty scary. It's mostly filled with Master Ninjas with Poison Strike and a bunch of Seal Defense and Resistance units, among other really annoying to deal with classes like Merchants and Kenshi Knights. The bright side is that you can really easily abuse the many choke points on this map, which makes it a lot easier to handle. You may notice that almost all of my units are starting on the top half of the map. I personally think that the top and bottom are really stupid without a good amount of units, so I'll be having my army take care of the top first and then work their way down. After entering the elevator, I make Selena a Wyvern Lord. The most notable thing she can get here is Strength plus 2. By this point, I won't have time or need to use any of the others.
You are not alone!
Did we win?
Come on, smile for me.
Stay focused.
Let's do this!
Ready to go.
The first thing I want to do in the top room is to take care of the Master Ninjas with Poison Strike. 2 of them will come to me unprovoked, so I'll be able to pick them off with little issue. Putting Oboro in this choke point will also start pulling a bunch of the Spear Masters, who aren't as threatening, but it's nice to get them out of the way.
I am Fate's accomplice! I'll be strong for you.
Instead of blocking the center room's choke point, I'm going to let the enemies do it instead. The Swordmaster will go to the edge of its movement range, which will end up stopping the elevator from moving.
I'll be your shield! Strength is everything! Not on my watch!
Don't underestimate me.
The nice thing about this setup with Oboro is that she doesn't have to deal with both ninjas at the same time. Getting slowly chipped down with Poison Strike won't ever become a serious problem. I don't want Oboro to hog every kill since she doesn't gain that much experience right now. I also need to start wrapping up my unit builds since I'm getting very close to the end of the game.
Well...
Dual Club is a very good weapon.
Can we start now?
I'll protect you! Pay attention! I'll spot you!
Don't you dare lose. Kill them
I spend a bit longer here fighting through these choke points. I'll use this downtime to say that it took a lot of restraint to actually deploy a real team on this map, since I could have soloed it completely with Oboro, Baruka, and maybe Odin if he got good enough RNG. I think the only way to make this map really fun is to do crazy things like that, but I don't want to neglect some of my other units from getting experience, especially for units like Niles and Selena who do eventually want to get out of their current class. I'm pushing Oboro slightly further up to kill the Spearmaster. For absolute safety, I have Flora go next to her to heal. It may look like a blatant gameplay error, but this is actually safe to do since the Master Ninjas won't start moving towards you until I believe you're in their immediate attack range. Despite Flora being very killable, she's safe.
Coming home.
I won't lose.
Something interesting is that the Swordmaster that's running away is trying to get healed by the Omiyoji, but the Omiyoji won't ever heal the Swordmaster. I have no idea why.
We can do this together. Not on my watch.
This is the last turn that I spend away from the Master Ninjas. The way I'm going to fight them is going to make sure that the reinforcements that come from the giant hole in the wall spawn, and I want to take them all out before they get the chance to attack. Bruka equips the hand axe here so she can counter the Master Ninja, but also so she can set up a kill for Selena.
Come on.
Now that I have my entire army nearby, killing these enemies is barely a problem.
I'm sure we'll be fine.
No, look.
I can barely contain myself.
I can take out an extra Spearmaster on enemy phase as well, so by the end of the next player phase, only 3 enemies on this top room will be alive.
Dying on me.
Let's do this.
Don't you dare lose.
It's kind of a bummer that Oboro is strong enough to kill here. Could have found one use for the Venge Naginata.
Good luck.
The reason why I was stressing about the reinforcements is mainly thanks to this merchant. Merchants are very annoying since they have very high defense. Omiyojis aren't as bad to kill.
I'll protect you.
Is that what you're wearing?
Seems like a worthy foe.
I feel good.
I'll handle this miscreant.
This stuff doesn't stand a chance.
Oboro moves forward to set up for the final enemies in this room. They're complete pushovers, so they're mainly free experience.
Kill them all.
I can now start setting up Selena to get a bunch of kills to level up in the center room. She has some slightly shaky hit rates against the Master Ninjas because I forgot to give her a brass club that's still in the convoy.
Let's do this. I'll crush them. Not on my watch. Pay attention.
Gotta eliminate it.
Even if Selena takes damage here, it won't matter. Her guard gauge will save her from the Swordmaster, and she is not in range of the Master Ninja.
Amateur. What a fool.
I have my units at the top start setting up to go south. Once there's no more enemies that I need to deal with, I'll cut out the boring movement parts, since it takes a very long time to traverse this map. Here's a showcase of just how good Setsuna can be in your Revelation playthroughs.
Wow.
If that doesn't convince you, then I don't know what will.
We're gonna win! Do your best.
Such a tease.
Must I restrain myself? Mistake. What did you expect?
Korn is going to start moving towards the Dragon Veins. I could wait until I've already finished everything else, but this saves time.
I'll do my best.
Don't underestimate me. Show me what you've got. Go, go!
I'm here to help.
Gotta eliminate it. Let's see what you've got.
Now every enemy on the top and the middle are dead, so I'll skip to when I get into the bottom room.
Here I am.
Here we go.
The final room is mostly filled with Omiojis, merchants, and Oni chieftains. Baruka with the dual club does well enough on her own, but I want to feed a lot of the kills down here to other units. The only way to do that is to obviously bring the rest of my units, but this does require a bit more brain power, and by this point in the chapter, my brain power is completely gone. This first turn down here, I do however let Baruka solo, since I mainly just want to try and bring the enemies closer before engaging with them.
Let's give him hell. You are not alone!
With the dual club, Baruka has near perfect dodge rates against every single magical unit. The only problems come from the Kenshi Knights and Merchants, which have bows and lances.
Don't even think about it. I've got your back. This is mine.
I want to prioritize the mages first. Nearly every unit that I'm bringing does well against mages, but does poorly against physical units.
Can we start now? How shall we proceed?
Now that that's done, the rest of this side is very easy to deal with. I try to make it so I can feed as much into Selena as possible, and I spend a bit doing that, so I'm only cutting in the combats. Unlike most maps, I had this one pretty much completely unplanned other than wanting to feed Selena a lot of kills. On the bright side of everything, my decisions made in these past few maps are going to make Chapters 26 very funny. Maybe not my favorite clear of this playthrough, but it's definitely up there. After I clear out the initial wave of enemies here, I send Corrin towards the Dragon Vein to trigger the reinforcements and also unlock the room to Sumeragi. After I use that final Dragon Vein, reinforcements will spawn from both the top side and bottom side of the map. I don't bother with the ones that spawn from the top room, since that would mean I would need to go all the way back and spend another like 10 turns on this map, which is really boring for both playing and viewing. Like I stated before, the only way I think you can make this map really fun is if you LTC or speedrun it with crazy builds, because otherwise, it's just going to turn into a very boring waiting game. And I mean that literally. The final reinforcements aren't all too strong, and you can even take them out before you ever have to engage with Sumeragi. After taking them out, I was finally able to start working on the final group of enemies. I'm using Niles to bait them. There isn't anything too significant about Niles himself, but he has a bronze bow, which removes the very small crit chance that the sniper would have.
We can do this together! Not on my watch!
When attacking the generic enemies, I have to be careful to not let any of my units in Sumeragi's range. He has Astra, which is lethal to a grand majority of my units, especially considering that I didn't bring Rally Defense and didn't keep it when Selena got it. I luckily have the tools available to kill all of them from a safe distance with the use of Brave and Spy weapons.
So bored. Thanks. Is that better? Check it. Cancel it.
For Sumeragi, I wanted to feed the kill to Selena, but I didn't really have a way to do that without putting him in vantage range first. I ultimately decided to just go for it and see what happened. Selena would only die if Sumeragi procced Astra and hit every single time, so my odds were not ideal, but still workable.
I'll crush them!
Fine, I'll protect you.
I'll do my best! I'll fly you!
All according to plan.
I'll spot you!
You know, sometimes I think that post-commentary isn't too good when your gameplay is improvised. I should stop being lazy with my clears. Or my commentary writing. Or both.